Okay, to really understand this, we need to set the scene. Imagine a blazing hot day in Medina. If you have ever felt that relentless, baking desert heat, you know it absolutely drains your energy. And this is way before the luxury of modern air conditioning, right? Out of this brutal, unforgiving heat, a tired, impoverished traveler arrives at a simple home seeking help. Now, he isn't asking for money or some grand luxury. He desperately needs just a little relief from the elements. This sets the stakes perfectly. The scene is raw, it's real, and it presents this immediate, powerful opportunity for human connection. Now, the text outlines this dynamic shift in three very clear steps. First off, the traveler seeks help. Second, he's welcomed with total compassion by Lady Fatimah. And third, and honestly, this is the absolutely crucial part, she offers him what little she had, a simple jug of water. The source explicitly highlights that she gave from the little she actually possessed. This wasn't some surplus she had lying around. She wasn't just giving away something she wouldn't miss. Actually, scratch that, it's more like she gave away what she probably needed herself. True generosity is defined exactly in these moments, when comfort is offered to someone else, even when your own resources are incredibly limited. And it doesn't just end there. The traveler doesn't just take the water and leave. The text notes that he drinks gratefully and instantly raises his hands in prayer. The physical relief of quenching his thirst in that blistering heat transforms into this profound, deep spiritual gratitude. Lady Fatimah's act of offering water didn't just hydrate a tired guy. It inspired a sincere, powerful prayer from someone who is genuinely in need. It's like a drop in a pond. It created a ripple effect that went way, way beyond a simple physical transaction. So what does this all mean? Well, this interaction brilliantly illustrates the core philosophy of our text, the concept of great blessings. The source explains that a small act of kindness brings great blessings when it's done sincerely for the divine, meaning the true weight of an action doesn't come from its price tag or how flashy it looks for an audience. It comes entirely from its sincerity. The text teaches us that when a small daily kindness is done with a totally pure intention, like not for applause but just sincerely, it undergoes a massive spiritual transformation. It's absolutely beautiful. Moving on, the text points out that the environment where this took place was characterized by three main things: simplicity, gratitude, and true generosity. Notice what's missing from that list. Yet, grandeur, luxury, excess, none of that is there. The historical account describes a home that stripped away all those unnecessary distractions. Because this home was so deeply rooted in simplicity and gratitude for whatever little they had, generosity just became a natural reflex. It wasn't some forced, agonizing decision where they had to weigh the pros and cons. It was literally just how they lived their daily lives. This brings us to a real game changer. This historical account completely shatters our modern assumptions about success. Today, society usually measures wealth by the accumulation of stuff, right? Possessions, property, your bank account. But the teachings highlighted in our source present a totally different paradigm. True wealth is measured in generosity. You are wealthy not by what you hoard, but by what you give away. Under this definition, someone with very little physical property who constantly gives to others, they are vastly wealthier than a billionaire who just hoards all their resources. It is such a brilliant and honestly humbling redefinition of success. And, these really are timeless teachings. Sure, we might not live in 7th century Medina, and we probably won't have an exhausted desert traveler knocking on our front door today. But the underlying principles, they bridge the gap directly to our modern routines. The concepts of compassion, giving from what little we have, and acting with pure sincerity, those are completely applicable to our lives right now, today. It really challenges us to rethink our everyday interactions. In fact, this source material gives us a very direct call to action here. It challenges us to follow this historical example, the example of the Ahl-e-Bayt, through 4 specific daily practices: helping others, acting with absolute sincerity, showing kindness, and cultivating love for the divine. So as we're going through this explainer, I want to challenge you. Pick just one of these bullet points as your primary focus for the rest of today. Seriously, try it. See how it changes the way you interact with your family, your coworkers, or even a total stranger. Kindness is never too small in the sight of Allah. Let that quote just sink in for a second. This is the ultimate summary of our source material. It completely removes that heavy pressure we put on ourselves to only do big things. A smile, holding a door open, a brief word of encouragement, or literally just offering a simple glass of water. The text teaches us that none of it is too small. According to this philosophy, every single sincere act is seen, and it holds immense value when the intention behind it is pure.